Hello everyone, NWO Reverend 96 back here with another part of my video game collection. Today I'm going to be talking about my GameCube games. As you can see as I pan across here, I've got quite a few of them. It almost rivals my 360 collection. And of course I got the Wavebird controllers right there. I guess these are pretty sought after collector's items. I don't know if they're really valuable or anything, but I've seen online that a lot of people want them, but I've got two, so woohoo, go me. Okay, let's just get started here. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start at the very end here because I kind of went from highest quality games on this end to maybe not so high on this end. As you can see, I've got a few sports games here at the end. This one at the end, All-Star Baseball 2003. A lot of these sports games I actually got when I was working at the time it was EB Games, but now it's GameStop, and I got them used and they were pretty cheap, so I figured why not, I'd give them a shot. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2003, NBA Live 2003, and of course Madden 2003. And these are all from the same year, so you can tell when I worked there, these were fairly new. And then next to that, I have MVP Baseball 2005, and this came out the year after the Red Sox won the World Series, and I'm a really big Red Sox fan, if you should know. So, and it had I think it was it Manny Ramirez, I believe. Yeah, let me check here. Now I gotta know. And there goes the Wavebird controller. Yep, Manny Ramirez on the cover. That. So that's one of the reasons why I picked that up. Okay, and then after the sports games, I have Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I really haven't played that all that much. A lot of people said it wasn't all that good. I don't really have any opinion on it because I got it for really cheap, again, used at GameStop, and just haven't had much of a chance to play it. Maybe I should try it sometime. Maybe I'll like it, I don't know, but... And then next to that, I have Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. That's actually a really fun fighting game. There's not a lot of technique or anything to it. You just you can actually pick up buildings and throw them at each other. It's got all the major Godzilla monsters. Alright, next to that, I have 3 out of 4 of the WWE games that came out for the GameCube. I have WrestleMania X8, WrestleMania 19, and Day of Reckoning. X8, I would call that the poor man's SmackDown. It's hard to play. They tried to do a combination between kind of the SmackDown system and the old Aki system, and it didn't really work all that well. And they improved it a little bit with WrestleMania 19, and this one actually had a pretty good roster, so that one's pretty good. But Day of Reckoning I would say, is the best, at least the best of these 3 here. They finally got it right. It's more like the SmackDown games. The only thing about it is I think it has a pretty cut down roster, but I think it's just from the time it came out too. It was after WrestleMania 20, and that's when a lot of people had left. So yeah, and I don't have Day of Reckoning 2. I don't know why I didn't pick that one up, but I don't have it. Alright, next to that I have Turok Evolution, which a lot of people thought, and I agree, was kind of a step down in the whole Turok series. I still think Turok 2 was the best. And then I have 007 Nightfire. Not a bad game. Just your standard kind of first-person shooter with the James Bond gadgets. It's fun, but kind of forgettable. So, and then I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now this is based off of the 2003 series, not the old 1980s cartoon. Which actually, I think the 2003 series is actually really good as well. It's kind of almost the same as the other Turtles beat 'em up games, like Turtles the arcade game, Turtles in, well, maybe not quite like Turtles in Time, except it's in 3D. The controls take a little bit getting used to, and some of the levels are kind of hard. I haven't finished this one yet, but it's more, for me, it's just a pick up and play, kind of. Okay, now we're getting into some of the better games here. Splinter Cell, I've got right here, the stealth action game. I did have a lot of fun with this one. The reason I have it on the GameCube is because at the time I actually didn't have a PS2 or an Xbox, and I still don't have an Xbox, but I do have a PS2. And then I have Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I really like the Baldur's Gate series on PC, so I decided to give it a try. And yeah, it's good. I mean, it's a little bit, I don't want to say dumbed down, but it's a little bit simplified for the consoles, so. But still, it's really, I think it's really fun. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of sinus trouble, so if I snort like that, I apologize. Then I've got Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I like this game, but it's hard to play on the GameCube because you have to use the command cross right there to actually move around as opposed to the analog stick, and it doesn't always make pulling off the moves easy. But like I said, same thing with Splinter Cell and some of the other games. I didn't have a PS2 at the time when it came out, so my only choice was the GameCube. So still a good game. There's not that many fighters unlocked when you first play, but once you've played a while and accumulated some, you have to accumulate currency coins, and you can unlock different fighters. So it's got once you unlock them all, it's a pretty good roster. And I have Soul Calibur 2 next to that. And since I have the GameCube version, I get Link as an exclusive character. Woohoo! Nice. In fact, a lot of people think this was the best version of Soul Calibur 2. Mainly because Link was the special character. Each version had a different one. PlayStation 2 had, I can't think of the guy's name, but the guy from Tekken, and with the gray hair, and the Xbox version had Spawn. That's pretty cool too, but I think Link trumps him just a little bit. And then I have the Mega Man Anniversary Collection right there. And this collection has all the Mega Man games up to Mega Man 8. Really good. And I like having this because I actually don't have Mega Man 1, 4, 5, or 6 for the NES. Mega Man 1 because it's really expensive to get, so this is a nice collection to have, you know, since I don't have them on there. Plus I don't have to worry about blowing into the cartridges either. So that's kind of nice. And then next to that I have, get it out here, Tales of Symphonia. This is a good little action RPG. I haven't finished it yet. I've had it for quite a while. But my attention span with video games is very limited, so I'll start one game and then I'll go right to another, so sometimes that's a little bit of a detriment if I'm trying to finish something. In fact, I was just playing Fallout New Vegas earlier today, and I've only beaten it. I have beaten the game, but I've only beaten it once through one of the factions. I believe it was the Yes Man Wildcard quest. And I'm actually playing through as the Legion this time, so, and then I'll go through as the NCR and Mr. House and so on. So, but yeah, and that game's a few years old, so because I've moved on to other games. So, anyway, speaking of which, moving on, I have the three of the Lord of the Rings games that came out for the GameCube. I've got The Two Towers, based on the movie of the same name. The Return of the King, also based on the movie of the same name. And this little gem right here, Lord of the Rings The Third Age, which actually plays a lot like the Final Fantasy games. You could play as a bunch of, not just four, but a bunch of side characters, I guess you would call them. Ones that weren't in the books or the movies, or may have been mentioned in the books, I don't know, but it's pretty fun. And these two games are pretty much just almost arcade beat-em-ups. Pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with those. And then I have the two Rogue Squadron games. I have, oops, pull out the wrong one there. I have Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2. This was one of the launch titles for the GameCube. I think was a pretty big improvement over the N64 one. And then I've got Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3. This one was a little bit of a step down, I think, because I tried to add on foot missions, and that just didn't turn out very well. The mechanics just weren't there, the aiming was off. They could have done, if they'd taken more time, they could have done better, I think. Alright, moving on. Okay, we're getting even better now. Alright, I have the 3 Resident Evil games for the GameCube. Resident Evil 0, which is actually the prequel to the first game. It's about Bravo Team and what happened to them. That's a good game. My favorite in the series, actually, is the original Resident Evil, the remake. Where I think 70% of the game is different than the original PlayStation version, and they added in some of another side plot to the game, and references also to later games too. I thought that was cool. And then of course there's the often praised Resident Evil 4, which I agree with all the praise. I love this game to death too. It's the biggest change for the Resident Evil series. They actually turned it into a kind of almost a third-person shooter, which I liked. I liked it a lot. I also have this version for the PS2 still, like I said in a previous video. Put that back right there. Okay, speaking of ghosts and scary things, now we're getting to Luigi's Mansion. Also a launch title for the GameCube. Now, a lot of people didn't like this game when it initially came out, but I think retroactively people like it a lot more now. I liked it a lot because I thought it was a nice change of pace. People wanted, you know, a Mario platformer to be the launch title, but you know, it wasn't meant to be, and still a really good game though. I had a lot of fun with it. It's not a very long game though. It's pretty easy. There are some tricky parts like trying to get the portrait ghosts and trying to suck them up into your vacuum. But still a really good game. And I'm not going to pull this one out, F-Zero GX. F-Zero pretty much, just on the GameCube. Enough said. I haven't played it very much. It's really hard. That's the thing, it's really hard. There's actually a story mode, and it's nearly impossible to even start because the second mission is almost... It's hard. We'll just put it that way, it's hard. Then I have Wario World, kind of another, like to call pick up and play game. It's got a lot of stickers on it, as you can see. I got this one used as well. Kind of a nice little platformer there. You know, nothing super special, but it's fun. You know, if you just wanna fool around. And then everybody's favorite, Star Fox Adventures. Trying to make a Zelda game out of the Star Fox series. I guess this was original. It's kind of like the whole American Mario 2 thing. This was originally a different game, but they decided to slap the Star Fox characters on it and try to make a quicker buck. I'm sure there's a lot of videos online that tell the backstory of that, so I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, it's trying to be Zelda, but it's not. Not the worst game I've ever played, though, so... Well, what's one of the best games I've ever played? Eternal Darkness. This is the game with the sanity effects. Ooh, creepy. And unlike Resident Evil, it doesn't have the tank controls for the characters. And you get to play as a different variety of characters, and just the mood is very eerie, and some of the sanity effects are a little bit creepy as well. especially the bathtub one, and I'll let you guys look it up on YouTube. That's all I'm going to say. And next to that, Mario Kart Double Dash. One of only three Mario Kart games I own. I have the DS one as well. This one was a lot of fun. It introduced the 2 characters per 1 kart, so you could switch back and forth. Neat concept. I don't think it was the most popular one. Everyone loves Mario Kart 64, which, like I said in my previous video, I don't own. But this one I do own. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's got a lot of the characters there. Although I think it has Waluigi in it too. Boo. I'm gonna move that. All right, getting down to the nitty gritty here. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. This is a really fun standard role-playing game. It's not really complex like Final Fantasy or any of the BioWare RPGs, but it's this one not in particular, but the N64 Paper Mario was the spiritual sequel to Super Mario RPG, and this is its sequel. It's got a fairly deep story for a Mario game. It's a lot of fun, a lot of neat levels. I try to make it my mission to play this every year when we're on vacation, so yeah, it's just, I don't know, good memories. And next to that, Mario Sunshine, what I've read, the lowest selling of the main Mario series. This is the quote successor to Mario 64. I don't know if I call it the true successor. They added the mechanic with the hose and everything, spraying everything with water. It's a cute game, but definitely not the best Mario game. I have beaten it, but it's been a while, so yeah, it's okay. Set that down right there. And then Super Smash Bros. Melee. This is another sought-after title for the GameCube. I don't know, I always thought it was pretty common, but, you know, what can be said that hasn't been said? Really good game. All the Mario characters beating not Mario, but Nintendo characters beating each other up. What's not to love? Okay, then, as you can see, I have 3 Zelda games here for the GameCube. I'll start from this end first, actually. First I have, this is actually the bonus disc that you got when you pre-ordered the Wind Waker. It's the Ocarina of Time and the Ocarina of Time Master Quest. Nice little bonus there. Don't need to say much about that one. And the cel-shaded delight, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. A lot of people complained about the cel shading, but if you look past it, you know, it's a really good Zelda game. A lot of people didn't like the sailing either. I could take it or leave it. It doesn't really bother me all that much. Plus you find a lot of things when you're sailing too. And finally, for Zelda anyway, I have Twilight Princess for the GameCube. I don't have the Wii version of this game because I didn't have a Wii at the time it came out, and I had pre-ordered this version before it was even announced for the Wii, so I had to wait a whole year for that. But this was a Zelda game I think a lot of people were waiting for when the GameCube actually came out. It's almost like more like the demo Zelda game they showed, I guess, at E3 before the GameCube came out. So yeah, a lot of people didn't like this one though, but I like this one a little bit better than Wind Waker. So yeah, check that one out if you haven't. I don't have the new Zelda Skyward Sword yet, but I may pick that up when it's a little bit cheaper. Plus, you need the extra add-on for it too for the remote for the Wii. And then last, and definitely not least, I have Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, 2 of my favorite games for the GameCube. In fact, this game right here is the reason why I got a GameCube. I am a huge fan of the Metroid series. Super Metroid is actually my favorite game ever. Best game of all time in my opinion. But this game right here actually is one of the best games of its generation. And a lot of people thought that putting Metroid into a first-person view wouldn't work, but hey, proof's in the pudding right there. And then its sequel, which I don't hold quite in as high regard, but it introduced Dark Samus, which was one of my favorite villains in the whole Metroid series. And it's got the whole kind of almost Zelda Light World, Dark World aspect to it. Yeah, very good game. So that is my GameCube collection. I really enjoyed doing this video because I really enjoyed the GameCube. It actually is one of my favorite consoles. And I had a lot of fun with it, so I figured I'd have a lot of fun looking at my collection. And none of these actually have the discs in them because I actually put them in a binder just to save some space. Maybe someday I'll display these again. And I have a lot, like I said, I have a lot of fun doing these game collection retrospectives here because eventually maybe I'd like to do some individual reviews, but this is kind of like the YouTube gateway drug, kind of showing off the collection first. So maybe, like I said, maybe when I get some better equipment, I'll do some reviews. And I'd also like to thank everyone for now my videos have about 200 views. You know, for somebody who just got started on YouTube doing this on their phone, you know, it's pretty impressive. You know, I'm proud of it, and hopefully, you know, hopefully that number will grow. So this is NWO Reverend 96 checking out.